Mate, did we watch a thing this week?
Yeah, we did. Welcome back to We Watched a Thing. It's good to be with you again. Billy, how are you, sir?
Mate, I'm actually really good. I thought I'd be more bummed because today is your first day at your new job and I thought I'd be all depressed because you're not with me. But luckily enough, I had barely any work to do, so I threw myself a little mini film festival.
Oh, nice for some.
Yeah.
I was working at my new job.
I got to 4 films, my friend.
4?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Yeah. I got to Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, Good Boys, The Farewell, and Parasite.
I've seen the second 2 and very much enjoyed the second 2.
Yes, I would say that there's a very high chance that at least one of the second 2 will make my top 5 this year.
I'm in furious agreement with you, sir.
Oh, interesting. But which one? Oh,
Which one indeed?
Curiouser and curiouser. How was your day, though, buddy?
Oh, it was fine. You know, I was trying to remember people's names and failing miserably at it.
Yeah, it was pretty funny last week when you said that you couldn't remember what your new boss's name was. But you figured it out?
Yeah, I've got it down pat.
Okay. Is it Pat?
Thanks, Dad.
Oh, I'm so funny. All right, but we're not here to talk about Pat this week. What are we talking about?
We are here to talk about, at the request nay demand of a patron, Coen Brothers film, Inside Llewyn Davis.
Yes, indeed.
Can I just say that at least one point during this recording, I am going to refer to the main character as Llewyn Moss, being you don't know this, not having seen it because you don't have a particular interest in, like, movies, but the main character of No Country for Old Men,
really?
Of course, by the Coen Brothers, is Llewyn Moss.
Interesting.
And every time I think of the protagonist of this film, I go to say Llewyn Moss.
Even though his name is literally in the title of the film.
And it's literally in the title. Doesn't matter. I've got a brain thing that's getting in the way.
Fun story about this film. Do you remember that we saw this together at the cinemas?
I do. I remember our little buddy date.
Do you remember why that was?
Because we wanted to see it.
No, because we were going to start a podcast.
I don't remember that part.
Yeah. We saw this. It was going to be our first episode way back when.
Really?
Yeah, no joke. Yeah.
This film's not that new.
No, this 2013. Famously 2013. Right.
So we really got out of the blocks on that one.
Oh,
actually,
mate.
Okay, in fairness, when you say, and I'm presuming here, because I have no memory of this, so, like, clearly it was your idea.
I think it was, yeah.
And was my response something along the lines of, what's a podcast?
No, we fun fact, when I was clearing out my old phone, I found a recording from 2013 of you and I sitting in the edit suite at work discussing ideas for our podcast. And no joke, one of the ideas that comes up, a marathon of all the Fast and Furious movies.
It does not.
It does, I'm not kidding. This is back in 2013.
Wow.
Before the 8th film had even come out.
I mean, I believe you, but I have zero recollection of this.
All right, so let's get into it. Let's pretend that we're back in 2013 and we actually decided to do this. And let's do an episode on this movie, all right?
Okay.
Inside Llewyn Davis.
Did we watch a thing this week?
Oh, mate, did we ever? Inside Llewyn Davis is a 2013 French-American musical comedy drama film written, directed, and produced and edited by Joel and Ethan Coen. It stars Oscar Isaac, Carey Mulligan, John Goodman, Garrett Hedlund, F. Murray Abraham, and Justin Timberlake. And what's it about, Tove?
It's about Llewyn Davis and not much else.
Yeah, that's right. It's about
and like the Coen Brothers agree with me here. Like I'm not dissing their movie. They know it.
Oh, mate, it's in the title of the movie. It's not called Outside Llewyn Davis.
Nah, it's not called the Amazing Adventures of Llewyn Davis. It's a character study.
Yep, absolutely it is. Takes place over what would you say it is? 3-4 days, maybe slightly longer.
Yeah, it's not long.
Yeah. Definitely. I remember at one point in the movie, he says something about how many days it had been. And in my head, I'm like, wow, that's even less time than I thought. And I thought it was only about a week.
And he's like Llewyn Davis, played, of course, by our man, Oscar Isaac.
Oh, we love Isaacs.
In a kind of pre-hipster kind of incarnation of a folk singer. Maybe folk singers are pre-hipster.
Oh, they definitely are. Yeah.
In fact, you think of like the sweaters and stuff and the jackets and the cardigans. Actually, it's hipster as, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, people forget that folk is where punk started. Punk is just electric folk, my friend. It's 100% true. People forget that. It's like 3-4 chords, lots of strumming, and it's literally like a lot of the same attitude too. Folk is where that whole DIY, anyone can be a musician started from. Like literally at the end of the movie when Dylan starts playing, my wife said, Dylan can't sing. How did he become like who he is? And I'm like, that's folk music. It literally is punk.
Yeah. I mean, the Sex Pistols then had a bassist who like genuinely didn't know how to play the bass.
Yes, exactly. And that's why it's so funny in that scene when John Goodman is taunting him and he's like, in jazz we use all the notes, not like you fucking folk singers, because that's exactly it. It's so true.
And, both have issues with authority.
Yep.
As we see in this film.
Yeah.
Problems with even the president who appealed to that demographic. They've still got problems with Kennedy.
Yes. How great is that song, just quietly?
Oh my God, absolute all-timer.
Probably one of my favorite Adam Driver performances as well, and I love Adam Driver. I think he's fantastic in everything, but the few scenes he has in this film are top-notch.
Of course, going back to, what I actually had here, which I forgot, my whole thing when you asked me what's the movie about is I was going to say it's a prequel to The Force Awakens. when Poe Dameron and Kylo Ren
part ways
before they both decided to blow shit up, were aspiring folk musicians in Greenwich Village.
That's how I'm always going to picture this movie now.
Yep. And when we see Rise of Skywalker, I hope that's all you see.
It will be.
Because this would have been... I was actually wondering when I was watching it, it may well have been the first time I'd seen Adam Driver in a film.
Yeah, I believe it was for me as well, definitely. I can't remember when the TV series Girls started. I did watch a little bit of that, but wasn't a fan. But yeah, I think this was probably the first viewing of Driver for me.
Oh my God, I love that scene. And they all play it, both Isaac, Driver, and Timberlake, who, I mean, a few years before this, I was shocked to find that I loved him in The Social Network.
Yes.
Like, I actually think he is really good as a screen performer, which, I mean, I never find it as shocking as some people maybe when someone who is a professional performer, it turns out, can act. It's like, oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. Similarities
you can see that.
there.
You can see that working. But yeah, someone who from my musical tastes, I'm not predisposed to liking him.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that I actually love him on screen. And all three of them play that scene where they're in the studio so earnestly, and they just play it so straight that it adds to how hysterical it is.
Yes. That's what's beautiful about it. And just before they start, when Oscar Isaac says, look, I'm grateful for the work, but who wrote this? And Justin Timberlake, I did. And he's so serious about it. And they just get straight into playing the song from there.
Yeah, the only thing that saves Davis is the fact that they have to start.
Yeah.
It's one of those scenes, and there's many in this film, and all credit to it, where it doesn't cover up the fact that Llewyn Davis is a dick.
Yeah. Yep, he really is. He's an arrogant, smug, not very enjoyable person.
My favorite moment is when he's at the Gaslight Cafe with the guy who's come into the army guy who's come into town.
Yeah.
Who says, all right, I want to get someone up on stage here. And Llewyn just assumes it's him.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that scene. And I think Oscar Isaac plays it so well.
Yeah. And just his disdain towards that guy who is such a genuinely nice, talented man.
Yeah. But he's done nothing wrong to him at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's played wonderfully.
Of course, one of the people that does get up on stage is Carey Mulligan.
Yeah.
Who is just an absolute A-grader. Like, I just couldn't be a bigger fan. Her and Oscar Isaac will then actually go on to be Oh, actually, was Drive before or after this? It was before. Yeah, so her and Oscar Isaac had been married on screen
Right.
before this film in Drive. She is so damn good at her job.
Yeah, I think this is my favourite Mulligan performance.
Her performances in this film and in Drive, certainly in Shame, are just on a level that personally I think very few people are capable of.
Yeah.
I really do think she is an A-grader in every sense. And I love the fact that in that scene, the scene where they're in that park in or just near Greenwich Village, where she's just abusing him for the fact that she's pregnant, and it's as he points out, it's completely irrational that she's putting it all on him.
Yeah, it takes two to tango, as he says.
Yeah, as he says, but that's fine, because in the character's headspace, she's not in a rational headspace.
Yeah.
She's pissed off and she's panicked, and I actually think the scripting of that scene is bang on, despite the fact that you're like, this doesn't make total sense.
I agree. The scripting is so clever, and you are hysterically laughing. Like, she is genuinely funny in her anger in that scene, and the words that she's saying are just so funny when she's
it's so good. When she's telling him
about use a condom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just don't touch another. Do the human race a favor.
Yes.
Don't touch another woman.
But I agree with you 100% that scene serves so much more of a purpose than just humor, and that's why I love again later on when you get that payoff that the owner of the Gaslight reveals that he too has fucked her. And just what that means for Lewis. Like, it's such a clever film.
And to Isaac's credit as well, I think, when he's performing on stage, he doesn't... You never get the feel... It's not someone doing karaoke. He's not just doing the lyrics. He's actually... There's very real emotion behind his singing in the film.
Yes. Yeah.
As opposed to, we could think there's maybe a notable example from 2018 that we've talked about enough. But like, there's no caricature in, like, and granted, he's not playing a real character, although the character is in some ways based on, well, not based on, but has its roots in a real folk singer. But there's no. It's a performance on so many levels that feels so grounded and so real.
Yeah, absolutely. And I haven't actually done the research. You might know whether or not he is actually performing. But what I can say...
I believe he is.
Yeah, well, because I was going to say, at the very least, he is playing the right chords. So he is either performing or he has done the Michael J. Fox from Back to the Future, where he has learned the song completely, even if it's not his performance used in the film.
Yeah, I don't know if they like did it live or not, but if memory serves, I think it is his performance. One
of my favorite things about the way the film is put together is the whole film feels like folk music. Like, it's earthy tones, it's cyclical like a folk song, like a folk song really is like 3-4 chords just back to back. That's how the movie plays out. It's like this...
It's kind of muted, it's not in a rush.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of my favorite things about it is the way that it treats folk music in the film. I don't know if you know this or remember this about me, but I used to be a folk musician.
I do recall this.
Yeah, I played around the festival scene. I've played in clubs like the Gaslight many times. And there is this thing in the folk community. It's not like when you're in a pub or a bar and there's a band playing and you don't really care. If you're at a folk club, you are quiet while the music is playing. And that's why I love that that's the way that the music is treated in this movie. Like, just about every song that is performed in full. And other movies would maybe use that as a backing track and, cut away to different scenes or something. This just focuses on the music and the performance. And it's done so, so well. Let's talk about the music in the film itself, not just the performances. This, I enjoy folk. This is up there with my favorite soundtracks of all time.
Definitely sounds like 2 chords.
Fuck you. You don't like the music?
I don't dislike it.
Really?
But it's I would listen to Like the song that opens the film.
Fare thee well.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
tick.
Because this soundtrack has been in my rotation since the film came out.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Shock me.
What would be up with your favorite soundtracks?
My favorite soundtracks?
Yeah.
I remember The Matrix got a good spin.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good soundtrack. Growing up, I was a big fan of 99's Godzilla.
Was there a Limp Bizkit song on that?
There might be.
You should automatically feel bad about it.
There's certainly Puff Daddy was my jam. There was some Ben Folds on there. It was a good soundtrack.
Wait, there was Ben Folds and Limp Bizkit on a soundtrack.
Oh man, it was diverse, man. Aerosmith was there, if I'm not mistaken.
Oof.
Good soundtrack.
Now, for this film, normally the Coen Brothers work with the great Roger Deakins as their cinematographer. He was unavailable for this film because he was lensing Skyfall, which is one of the best looking films of the century. So, like, that's fine. But there's this is a film that I think the look of the film, the lensing of the film really does serve the story very well. And I think the Coens were pretty specific in wanting this kind of, very, very muted, almost washed out, drab feeling of both this part of New York at the time, which also reflects where I went to call him Moss, but it's Davis, where he's at both personally and professionally.
Yeah.
So it's not the best looking Coen Brothers film. And part of you could go, well, because they didn't have Roger Deakins. But if they'd had Roger Deakins, it also wouldn't be one of the, prettiest Coen Brothers films.
Yeah, I personally...
Because that's not the point.
Yeah, I personally think it is one of their nicest shot films for me personally. And I agree with you, it may not be, their prettiest. But as you said, the way that it fits... And you think of those shots when he's driving to Chicago and that... that black, foggy view out of his window, when you see those shots that are just into the void of nothingness, it's just so beautiful.
One scene that I just love the way it plays out is when the cat escapes.
Yeah.
And my understanding is that the cat was written in after the script was, at least one draft of the script was done, and they were like, well, this thing really does have no plot, does it? And so the cat was written in just so there was like something that happened. And I love the way that the cat escapes just kills me. Like,
Yeah.
You see it coming from last week. But it's executed so well, and Isaac plays it so well.
Yeah.
That even those of us that are like, it's a cat, just let it go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another good thing about the way the film's shot is that it really makes you feel the cold.
Yes.
This feel like it's like watching The Revenant. You feel chilly just watching it.
Yeah.
Half expect Llewyn to crawl inside of a bear.
Like he's on Hoth.
Fucking lightsaber a wampa.
Yeah.
Except, of course, he flies X-Wings. He doesn't have a lightsaber.
Yeah. That would have been a way different film.
Yeah.
Inside Llewyn Davis's Wampa.
Inside Llewyn Davis's cockpit.
Now that's a movie I know you'd like to see.
Oh my God. How good would that be? Poe is a boss, man. I love Poe.
He's a very handsome man.
Yes, he is. Do you reckon, okay, the guy at both the beginning and end of the film who beats him up, the husband of the person he's heckling,
Yeah.
think about the time that this is set and the time that The Big Lebowski is set, and if we can imagine a Coen verse, tell me you don't love this idea that guy is the father of Sam Elliott's stranger in Lebowski. Because he talks just like him.
He does. Now you've made me think, is that actually Sam Elliott?
It's not. I checked because I was
doing
like,
a
is that
Sam Elliott impression, isn't he?
Oh, totally. Totally.
Because Sam Elliott has a
I
very
checked because I was
distinct
like,
voice.
hang on, is this Sam Elliott? Because holy shit, it sounds like him, and it would be the best if it was. But no, it's just someone doing Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
And I am just choosing to believe now. I'm running with it. That's the stranger's dad. And the stranger's mum was I don't even know what to call her. A musician. Generously. One thing I did check that I was curious about, the Gaslight Cafe was real.
Oh, yeah, absolutely it was. Yeah.
I had no idea about this. I was like, is this just meant to be reflective of certain venues at the time, or was it real? It was real from the late 50s to the early to mid 70s, and it was round the corner from a place that I had dinner at in May.
Oh, there you go. Good,
There you go.
Good restaurant?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very good restaurant.
Good.
That was the one where I was sitting next to Sarah Jessica Parker. And she doesn't eat at too many dives, I'm guessing.
No, but she didn't have Matthew Broderick with her, did she?
Maddie wasn't there. We were wondering why he wasn't.
That's a shame.
Yeah, we had to. So we were like, once we left dinner, we were Googling, and Maddie was, he was currently doing a production in London.
Oh, good on him.
Otherwise, obviously, we'd have made friends with them.
I'm sure you would have. Absolutely.
The real reason you just don't go up and harass celebrities because it's just a fucking stupid thing to do.
Absolutely true. When I was in New York, I sat
But if Maddie was there.
yeah. When I was in New York, I sat right near Sigourney Weaver.
Mm.
That was fun.
I remember this story. Of course, Matt's not really a celebrity.
Isn't he?
Like, so, I mean, come on. Sarah's the alpha in that relationship.
Are you serious? When you think of which one of them is the celebrity partner, you go to Sarah.
Yeah, dude.
Because of Sex and the City?
Yeah.
Do you think that trumps Ferris Bueller? Seriously?
Well, like not for me, but I'm saying there is, if there is a power dynamic in that couple, it's Sarah. Not one teen film from the 80s. Millennials might not know who Matthew Broderick is.
Yeah, but do you think they'd know Sarah Jessica Parker any better? I mean, Sex and the City's been off the air for like 13 years.
It is a while ago, isn't it?
Yeah, wasn't it like 2006 that went off the air?
I don't know.
I don't know why I'm being so specific about that.
I imagine she's still getting some pretty sweet residuals.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, Sarah Jessica Parker could buy New York. Matthew Broderick could buy a house off Sarah Jessica Parker because she bought New York.
And she'd give him mates rates, but she'd still charge him.
Oh, yeah. You'd be collecting.
So, are we going to continue talking about Inside Llewyn Davis at some point, do you think? Or is this now a Broderick Jessica Parker chat?
I hope not, because we've got nothing sensible to say about it.
I'm cutting more than half of this.
You should. Do you want to know a fun fact?
I do.
When we see, of course, and hear a record from when Llewyn was in a duo.
Yes, with Mike.
With Mike. The person who voices Mike on the record is Marcus Mumford of Mumford & Sons.
For real?
Who is, or was, I don't know if they're still together, married to Carey Mulligan.
I did not know that they were married.
There you go.
But I know very little about celebrity gossip. That is a fun
bit
fact.
more now.
That's really cool. So it certainly sounds like we're both fairly positive on this film. What are you scoring it?
Yes, enjoyed it back when we first saw it. Still enjoy it. 8 out of 10.
I agree, 8 out of 10. It would be up there with my top Coen Brothers films. I think this and Fargo...
Of the ones you've seen. Which doesn't include No Country for Old Men.
I will get to No Country for Old Men. Fuck.
It's not overly long.
Isn't it? Really?
No.
It strikes me as the kind of film that would be long.
Here we go. I'm going to look it up, but my marker is that it's actually under 2 hours.
Oh, I doubt that very much.
Oh, the tension.
It's going to be at least 123 minutes. At least.
Oh, it's 2 hours and 2 minutes.
Wait, how close was I then?
Yeah, but you're not going to sit through all. You're not going to sit through all the credits, are you?
Oh, I always do.
That makes it under 2 hours.
Mate, you have to show respect for our craft and the people whose names come up.
Fuck them.
Nah. You know what I always do?
I'm bitter because my career's gone nowhere.
I always watch the credits for every film, and I'll pick one random name from the credits, and I'll just mentally give them a little high five, and I'll be like, "You go, man! That was," and I'm sure that they can feel that.
I like that.
Yeah, you have to do it because nobody respects those people.
No, God no.
No, I mean, why would you? They're shit.
Bunch of chumps. Get in front of the camera.
Actors make the movies, people.
We all know this.
Yes. All right. Well, that was fun. That was fun. I'm glad that we finally got around to talking about this movie that we decided we would talk about 6 years ago.
I know, and the patron that made us do it had no way of knowing that. It's just cool little twist of fate.
Yep. All right. What are we getting to next week, buddy?
Joker.
That's right. Don't you mean Woker? Nah, that was a Joaquin joke that felt really flat. I'm sorry.
I was like, I thought it was something about being
woke. Yeah,
woke.
I realized after I said it that I'm like, no, that's what it sounds like. That joke fell flat.
I was like, do I not get it or is it just bad?
Do I cut it or do I leave it in?
Up to you, mate.
What would you do? Because you usually edit the show.
Look, if it's anything that makes you look kind of dense, that tends to stay in, doesn't it?
You're so mean.
All the dumb shit I say, cut that.
Well, I'm going to leave in all of your dumb shit this week. You know what I'm going to do?
That's a lot.
I'm going to add pauses so that it makes it seem like you were taking a really long time to think about what you were saying and it was still shit.
With just like some Quasimodo.
I'll add some cricket noises in. I'll get a soundboard going.
I can't wait.
All right.
I can't wait. It's been a long time since you edited an episode. I can't wait to see what happens.
I can't believe you're trusting me to do it.
I don't trust you. I'm like, the house is in boxes because we're moving and it's not going to happen.
All right. Well, that'll be fun. In the meantime, if you want to get in touch with us, you can do that at wewatchedathing.com or wewatchedathing@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all under the handle @wewatchedathing. If you want to demand that we watch a film, much like patron Caleb did this week, you can do that at patreon.com/wewatchedathing, and we'll see you next week.
Go watch a movie.
Bye.
Billy is a boss, man. I love Billy. Oh my God, I love Billy. Like, I actually think Billy is really good.